What is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversations? That was the question once posed by the fictitious yet world-renowned character Alice of Lewis Carroll's preeminent tale of fantasy and dreamlike imagery, Alice in Wonderland. First published in 1865 in England, the story has stood the test of time as generations of children from around the world are delighted by Alice's adventures in the mythical underworld, and adults have attempted to read into and then discover its hidden meanings. To give us some insight into Carroll's world of joyful nonsense is Robert Douglas Fairhurst, Professor of English Literature at Magdalen College, University of Oxford. After all, it was the Cheshire Cat who famously purred, "We're all mad here." Professor, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's very good to be with you.
So one of the things that I thought that gave Alice her staying power throughout the generations, aside from her delightful 19th century charm, is the fact that so much of what happens in the book can be interpreted in so many different ways. And I wanted to start taking us back to the time and place that this book was created, because nothing comes out of a vacuum. So what can you tell us about England in 1865?
Well, it was just a few years after Darwin had published The Origin of Species, so it was a world where everything seemed to be on the move. Animals no longer seemed to be fixed. The underground was starting to be full of life. So the first underground railway was just about to open. Sewers and gas mains were being laid. So wherever you look, things seem to be changing.
One of the other things that I thought was interesting, because so much, again, of this book isn't what it seems, Lewis Carroll was a pseudonym. He never really existed.
Lewis Carroll, whose real name was the Reverend Charles Dodgson, he was like two people who shared one skin.
Oh.
And what I mean by that was that here in Oxford, he was a rather dry, rather prissy mathematician and also a firm upholder of the Church of England's values. But at the same time, he was playful and nonsensical and liked making up stories for children.
There's a lot of deviations between the way Alice in Wonderland is presented either on stage or in films and what's actually in the book.
When Walt Disney first does Alice films, it's back in the 1920s. He does 56 little films he calls Alice comedies. And there Alice is a very young girl. But then later on, when he produces the first cartoon, she seems to have grown up, and then she's been growing up and up and up ever since.
So many of the other animal characters in the book have sort of gained a life of their own. We have the White Rabbit, the Mad Hatter, the hookah-smoking caterpillar, and of course, the Cheshire Cat. I'm wondering why it is that these seemingly random and mysterious characters leap off the page into their own sort of existence.
The Cheshire Cat is a really interesting example because in the story we're told that the cat has very sharp teeth and very long claws. So even that's a kind of Darwinian creature. The first thing that the mouse mentions in a list of things beginning with M is mouse traps. So again, this is a dangerous world. This is a dog-eat-dog or a cat-eat-mouse kind of world. But a lot of the characters that we think of as being absolutely invented by Carroll weren't really invented by him at all. So the Mad Hatter actually isn't called the Mad Hatter in the book. He's just called the Hatter, and he was based on a real person. In fact, quite a lot of the characters that Alice comes across are like strange, playful, dreamlike distortions of figures that she might have seen in her real waking life. It's only right at the end of the book, of course, we realise that this is all a dream. And what we're seeing is a kind of crazily jumbled up version of the real Alice, Alice Liddell's, life above ground in Oxford. Lewis Carroll deliberately created a world in which characters and events flowed into each other like a real dream. And in fact, even words start to lose their boundaries. They start to shift and blur. Cat, rat, bat. This is something which is much more playful than most writing we're used to.
Here in New York City, we have a very famous statue of Alice in Wonderland in Central Park, yes. She's sitting on a mushroom, and around the mushroom is actually part of the poem of the Jabberwocky, and the Jabberwocky is not part of Alice in Wonderland, the book.
And interestingly, it's a poem which he had written much, much earlier in one of the magazines that he put together for his own brothers and sisters. And then he sort of sliced it out and plonked it in the middle of this new story. And it's a good example of how he liked to work as well.
All right, well, that is a great note to end it on. I want to thank you so much for joining us and for giving us some clarity into the underworld of nonsense that is Alice in Wonderland.
Thank you very much.